All right, I want to give my thoughts here on this Test of Honor, the Samurai Miniatures game by Warlord Games. Now, I will say I've only played the first battle, which is how you learn the game. We played it twice, my friend and I. So I'm just going off what I've got at that right now. We haven't got any skills or anything like that. But when I bought the game, I've been wanting a good samurai game, and Clan War, it's just out of print. It's going to be hard to get the models to get and try to get people into that, so that's going to be hard. And I also played Samurai Battles, but it's really a complicated. It's really an awesome game, but it is pretty complicated, and it's a little long for what it is. So this game I just found the other day, and bought the starter box set, which was actually pretty not very expensive for what you're getting. And I was looking at the models, and oh, you have to put the models together, so we can't really play. Well, what I thought of is I've got a bunch of Clan War models, so we decided we're just going to proxy the Clan War models in, and they're the same size, 28 millimeter, and we decided we're just going to play this first game, see how it goes. We read the rules. It takes 20-30 minutes to understand this game. It's not a very complicated game, but there's more to it than you may think. Set at the battle, and we had 4 forces each, a group of spearmen, 2 bowmen, and your leader. And for the first game, I just said, okay, I'm just going to go out and charge, and I charged my samurai leader across the board, and you don't want to do that. Well, in this game, you've got these tokens. You've got some representing samurai and some representing commoners, and you also have these tokens here, which are called fate tokens. And you put them in a bag, you mix them up. When it's your turn, you draw one of them out, and that tells you what you can do. So if you draw a samurai token, your samurai can do an action. If you draw a commoner token, one of your commoners can do an action. If you draw a fate token, later in the game, it has to do with skills. But if the third fate token is drawn, the turn's over. Those tokens all get thrown back in the bag, and it's the next turn. So when you are attacked, you have to do defense. There's no ifs, and, or buts. You have to do defense. So the opponent says, he charges in, he does his attack, and he hits. So you've got to do defense, and you have to have one of those action tokens. So your commoners each have 1 action token. So if they've got an action token down, that's all they can do that turn. Your samurai gets 3, and if it's a one you hire, it's only get 2. But so you get 3 on your samurai. Well, my samurai's moved, and he's moved. So he's done 2 of his actions so far. He only has 1 action left. If he gets attacked, I have to dig in that bag. Well, if he gets hit, not if he's just attacked. If he's attacked and hit, I have to pull his action token out, put it on his, to mark that he's used his 3rd action, roll my defense, and hopefully I don't get killed. I make defense roll. If I've used all my action tokens and he is hit, he doesn't get to roll defense. The opponent's going immediately to rolling damage. And if that happened, there's a chance your samurai dies. And if he dies, if your leader dies, the game's over. So you got to protect your leader. Commoners, same situation. If they get attacked and hit, they got to use the action token. So you search in the bag for a commoner token, put it on them. They're going to roll their defense. If they've already used their action, they don't get a defense. And if they're damaged from the hit, they're taken off the board. So it's a very, very deadly game. I like the back and forth of this, because when it's your turn, you draw a token. That's what you get to do. When you're done, the opponent then draws a token, and they decide what they're going to do. Now, on your turn, you can move 6 inches. You can move 3 inches and shoot a weapon, or just stay stationary and shoot. You can also move 6 inches and get you into melee combat. If that gets you in base to base with the opponent, you can attack them. You can do a 3-inch move, which is a cautious move, and not attack, and now you're on defense, and you have this little token that gives you like a freebie defense roll. You can, if you're knocked down, you can get to your feet and move 3 inches. You can reload your weapon. The other one is the avoid, and that's where you're rolling your defense, and that's where you have to use your action tokens. So that's what you're going to do with your action token, is to do either moving and attacking, charging, getting up, reloading your weapon, doing a cautious movement, or you're doing a defense, or avoid, which is actually on the opponent's turn for the most part. What's also interesting in this game is each weapon has their own effect, that if you do like I'm going to say critical hit, as you can see here, there's like Katana does a deep cut. If you do a critical strike, you hit the opponent with and you got a lot of swords, basically takes 5, and they fail at their defense, and you succeed in damaging them, they take a deep cut. If it's a spear, you impale them. Now the avoid here is on defense. If you roll really well on your defense, you could do a quick jab back, which means you may hurt the opponent. And if you roll really good on damage, you can follow up, which means you charge again and can attack another opponent if they're in range of your charge. There's also at the bottom fumbles, which is very interesting. You can injure yourself, like your bowstring may break. Of course, you get to still keep the bow, but it may have hurt you a little bit. Maybe you fell down, you lost your footing or whatever, so there's that in there also. The game's 20 or 30 minutes, hour at the most, I would say, unless you're playing a really big game. Our games went pretty quick. Of course, we were only using 4 models, but we were still learning the game, and it didn't take long to learn this game. There's also point buy in the system, so you have to have a leader. So let's say you're playing 12 points. You have to have your leader. You can hire up to 2 other samurai. Now, if they die, you don't instantly lose the game. It's if your leader dies. And then you buy commoners, and at least 1/3 of your points have to be commoners, so at least 4 points have to be commoners. And you do a scenario, and another interesting thing in this game is that you can get what kind of like experience. Whether you win or lose, your samurai never dies in this game, your leader. He just gets injured and runs off or something. But if you ever take out an opponent's unit, at the end of the game, you get a card for each unit you've taken out, and you get to choose one of those cards and keep it, and it's a skill. So maybe one time per turn you have a really nice sword and you do like extra damage, or you can deflect an arrow shot at you once per turn and stuff like that. And the more you play it, the more your samurai is going to get experience. Of course, there is a limit to how many they can have. So there's a lot to this game, more to this game than I thought it was. And I'm looking at the expansions. There's about 4 or 5 of them right now. So you can have some mounted cavalry. There's some bowmen and gunmen one. There's some with monks. There's Ronin, has some like dishonored samurai leader or something in it. And there is a way to dishonor your samurais in this game. But what it does for you, it can help take out an opponent's samurai. So there's a lot more in this game than I thought. Right now I'm liking it. I'm ready to play some more games, get some more experience in. I'm ready to try the other scenarios in this book, which there are a total of 6.